In this video, I will talk about how to use output file stream class to write class objects data into text files. Let me jump right into the coding. In the editor, I have this code. There's a class student with student number, name, marks, and number of marks. Default constructor, custom constructor, which receives student number, student name, and the marks array, and copies the data, does the validation and copies the data into the attributes. And here I have a float array of 3 marks, 3 set of marks. First 4 marks in the first row, and the second row we have 3 marks, and the third row I have 1 2 3 4 5 marks. And this is the size array, which indicates the number of elements in this array, 4, 3, and 5. Now I actually want to be able to write the student objects data into a file, a text file, right? For example, I want to write data in, let's say, a file name output file.txt. But what I want to do is I actually want to have a student object, let's say S1, created by invoking this default constructor, which receives the student number, student name, and marks array, and the number of elements in the marks. So I am passing 1001 as a student number, Harry as the student name, and the first row of this marks array matrix as the marks, and the number of marks is going to size 0. So this is the data I passed to create this S1 object. And let me also create S2 object, 2002 Alexander, name, second marks, and size, second size. So I have this objects created, and I actually want to write this object in this output.txt file in this format. So I want to write first ID in text form, then comma followed by name, then I want to write the size, number of marks, let's say 4 in this case, and I want to write these marks after that, right? So then I want to write this S1 object so that its data is actually placed in the file in this format. And also I want to write S2 object so that it is the data is placed in the next line, 2002 Alexander 3, and this data is actually placed in the file called output file.txt. For that I actually need to create and use OStream class, OFStream actually, output file stream class. I need to create an object of this class, and to use this class, let me try to use it. OFStream, OFS. If I want to use this class, then I need to include the library which will give me access to this class, which is fstream library. This will give me access to this class, and when I object, and through the constructor you can pass the name of the file. So file name is output file.txt, right? So now this will actually this is object which has the output file.txt associated with it, and I actually can write data into it. let's say hello world. If I want to write hello world in it, I can do like this. And if I go to the editor, to the terminal, and do compilation linking and execution, now I will have that file created and data written into it. Let me open that file. So I have this output file created here, and this hello world has been written, right? I actually want to delete this file. So let me remove this file from here. So I have deleted this file. Now I didn't have this file created at this stage. Let me remove, but actually I want to be able to run this command like this. Use this object, output file object, and insert S1. And once I insert S1, I want the data of S1 object to be written in this form. And then after that I want to insert S2, and I want this to be written in this form in the next line, right? To enable this operation, I need to add something in the class. First I need to have a function that actually writes this data into the output file stream object, OF stream type object. So here let me have a function print which actually receives OF stream object with name OFS, and this is going to be query function. So I don't want this function to make any changes. I want this function to just read the data and then display it. So now here I want to use this OFS object to insert all the data, right? First I would consider this object entire data is valid if student number is positive. So therefore this will be the first validation I would do. If if it is positive, I do something, otherwise I would display I would not do anything because I didn't want to display anything here. If it is positive, I will write that data, start writing data into the in the file output file stream. So the way I would write is, for example, if ID is valid, then I'll just write this one, and if this name is invalid, for example, if ID is valid and name invalid, I'll just write something like this, 2 commas, and then if this is valid, I would write 4, otherwise I would write another comma like that, and finally I would write comma, right? So actually I will be writing in this format just to make things a little bit simpler for demonstration purpose. So this is the way it would written, but if name is invalid, this would be, this space will have nothing, just 2 comma, and then if number of marks is valid, and then you have it's invalid and you have nothing in between this comma. So at least there are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 commas, and depending on what is valid, what is not valid, it will be empty, or it will have those data inserted in between those 2 commas. So now if I have this number valid, then I would just right away just pass this S number into it, right? And after that then after that I want to actually print a comma after that, and if name name is valid, that means the way of testing name, validity of name is to test the first character, right? If it is not null, then you insert name into it, right? And after that, I mean, if it is valid, it will be, name will be inserted. Otherwise, that space will remain empty, and then you will be inserting a comma after that. And then after that, if number of marks is positive, you display, and then after that, finally, just insert the comma at the end, right? So, and inside, if it is valid, then you actually and then after that you put a comma, and then you iterate I equals 0, I less than s marks, I plus plus, and OFS, you insert marks element one by one followed by comma. Yeah, actually I would like to have this new line character at the end here, because if marks is not marks not valid, and it will have a comma at the end. And let me see what it, I believe that it will have a little bit different I mean display here, but anyway, I'm not using a data where the marks are not valid. All the data, I'm using these two objects where everything is valid, so I will not have any issue here. So let me just stick to what I have here. And the final, I have this print function, and if I use this print function, say s1 dot print and pass OFS, then it will actually it will just write that data, I mean first object's data into the file. And always remember, when you're done using this object, always it's safe practice to close it using this calling close function. So let me execute it. At this point I don't have that output file here. I don't have output file. Now I want to actually execute it by running the command in the terminal, right? So go back and I try to see whether I have file or not. Open file. I have this output file which I'm going to show you. Open and show you. So here we have this this was the code, and I have output file created. So that first object's data has been actually written here, right? So this is the ID, name, and number of marks, and these are the 4 individual different marks here, right? So I'm going to be removing this file before I do the next experimentation. So let me remove that file. I've actually deleted this file, remove that file from that space. So now let me comment this out. Actually I want to write data by running this command. So to enable this command, we need to create a global function. We need to have overloaded function to overload this operator, right? So this function receives OStream object, actually OF stream object, and second parameter is going to be constant student reference st, right? So now inside, if it is void, return type is void, and inside you have, let's say, you call st dot print, and you pass OFS, and it will do that job, right? It will actually allow you to write s1 object data into that file. Let me do the compilation. So now whenever this invocation is actually directly linked to this function, and from inside the function, through this object, this print function is actually called, right? So I want to run this to see whether the data is actually written in the file or not. It is not showing any problem. So let me go back and open the file and see I have the file created now, and I have this content here, right? It is written. So this was the content was actually written by this command. And if I actually I can also write another object, right? Two lines in two object data in two different lines. In this through this command, I expect this second object's data to be written in the next line here. So let me check that. Run, right? So go back to the code. Now you can see the data is written in two lines. Okay. Now if I want to change this command like this OFS, let me insert a space after that, blank space, a new line character, and then S1 S2. Let me chain it. Obviously it is already flagging the error here, so this chaining is not valid, looks like. So to make this chaining valid, this operation, this entire operation should return something. In this case it is returning void, because this function return type is void, so it will be returning void. So we need to return this OFS object itself. So we want to actually return OFS here. So we need to have return type for this function as a reference, and you return OFS. And also, if you make improvement, you put a return type in this print function, and do have a return statement at this point. Then you can make it concise, right? So you return whatever was actually returned by this print. So this will allow chaining of this insertions. And after this execution, what I expect is I will have one space here, and after that these two lines will be written one by one. Let me see whether that happens here. Back to the code and output file. You can see it was this was the outcome of that chained insertion. This was the outcome of those individual insertion, right? So going back to the code. This is the code we have now. If every time I run this file, this code, then it will actually, there is already file created, but it will actually overwrite everything. It will delete everything in the previous file and write, right? If I want to actually write after this line, if I don't want to remove the data, I want the data to remain it was in the previous case, but whatever I display, whatever I write, I want that data to be written at the end. That means, in other words, I want the I want to open file to append the data. I want to append the data to the file. If you want to do that, you can actually, let's say, after it is closed, you can open this. Um, I mean, you can call the open function through this object, and in the open function you can provide the file name, and you can provide a flag which actually will tell a compiler to open this in append mode. So if you supply this flag here, it will open in append mode. Then after that, if you insert, let's say insert a new line character, and then S1 S2 again, close it. Now at this point it will open, write the data, and then close, and it will open again in append mode and write the data, and it will not have this thing deleted. Okay, let's see that. So compilation and linking, I think there is one problem, maybe typo issue. Let me go back and make correction. Well, I think I missed a semicolon here. So it is running, looks like. In the output file, this was written in the previous case, and it was this new line, and this data was actually appended to that file, right? But again, if you open this in non-append mode, for example, if you open without this F flag, then it will again open to in the mode where it will actually delete everything and start writing again, right? S1 S2, at this point, up to this point, the file will have the data, original data and appended data, and after that at this point it will remove everything and write from the beginning. So let's see the output here. Compilation, linking, and execution. So you can see everything was removed, deleted and rewritten, right? So that's the difference, and there are several other flags you can explore. I suggest you to explore to open this file in different mode. So reading mode, writing mode. For example, if you create this object of not OVStream but FStream, like this, in that case you can specify that mode here. Either you want to use this file for writing, for reading only, for read writing only. So those are the options available, so you can explore those options there. So this is all I wanted to talk in this video. In the next video I will talk how to actually open this file for reading from the file. For example, I have a file data here. I actually want to be able to read the data into this object. Instead of constructing object like this, I want to read that data from the file and copy into the object attributes, and then I would want to invoke this display function to display on the terminal. Okay, so to display on the terminal I will have to make changes to this function and this function as well. Thank you for watching.